Hi, I'm Nathan Golden, owner of Managecast, and also known as Cloud Backup Guy. We are a Veeam service provider that specializes in providing Veeam Cloud Backup and disaster recovery services. If you're a managed service provider providing managed backup, I know you can relate to the challenges of checking backups, especially when you have a lot of clients. I'll be showing the Veeam management portal we created that really helps with this task. Let's go ahead and log into the portal. One of the issues we had with the Veeam supplied tools is there was not an easy way to view historical data, so we set out to fix this issue. The first screen we see is a high-level overview that shows the status of multi-tenant backups from a single pane of glass. I'm using demo accounts for this demonstration. This window shows the overall backup activity over a given time frame. By default, it's the last 30 days. This will show me how many backup jobs ran on a particular day and how many were successful and how many were failed or had warnings. I can easily change this view to show a longer period of time. And you can see over time I had problems in the past, cleared up those problems, and have been running really consistently since. Down below is the calendar view. This shows each of my customers. It defaults to the last 7 days and shows me on a daily basis how many backups I had in a given day. That's what the number is in the cell. And then if green means all were successful. If I have multiple colors, that means that some were successful and some had warnings. I'll go ahead and change this to the last 30 days to show the 30-day view. And this will also show you that I've had some days with red, yellow, and green. Or it could be all red or all yellow. If I click on a particular number or a particular day, it drills in on that day and shows me all the errors that were on that day. I'm going to come back to this daily check screen in a moment. Just wanted to show that the calendar will allow you to drill in and see information for a particular day. We also show you all of the Veeam repositories. This includes both local as well as cloud repositories and the status of those repositories. We also provide other information such as the jobs with the most failures, the jobs that ran the longest, and the jobs that ran and transferred the most data. So again, very high level information. The dashboard is definitely useful, but the real value of our portal is in the daily check area. The daily check screen is where our engineers spend most of their time checking backups. We like to focus on the backups that had failures and warnings, so those filters are on by default. We suppress successful backups by default so we can focus on the problems. Also notice that we only show the last 2 days of backups because we're assuming that backups are being checked daily, and we're most interested in checking the most recent backups. Though we can change this to see more history. And I'll go ahead and change this to the last 30 days just so I have a few more events to look at. Now, whenever I select a particular backup job on the top part of the screen, the bottom part of the screen reflects the long-term history of that particular job. And the default is the last 30 days. So you can see here I've been running pretty smoothly. I have periodic spikes. The black line is showing the duration of the backups, and the blue lines down here at the bottom show the amount of data that's being transferred. So this allows me to easily see when things spike or when things go out of normal. The green means that it was successful. Obviously, red and yellow are failures and warnings. If I drill in, I can zoom in on any area of the graph to show that in more detail. If I click on any of these points, it instantly takes me to the errors that represent those failures. So this allows me to go back easily in time to see if I've gotten a similar error in the past. And as I scroll down through here and maybe select a different customer, you can see that this information changes. And this is a better graph to look at because it shows a more consistent view of the duration and how much data was transferred. And again, if I see any problems, like here's a yellow warning, if I click on that, it takes me directly to that particular message. I want to point out that I can filter on any field, such as looking at a particular customer to narrow the view. It's important to know if a backup error or warning has been checked or acknowledged. This also creates an audit trail so you can show your customer who is checking the backups and when they checked it. Notice the pending filter is turned on right now. This shows me any messages that have not yet been acknowledged. I will go ahead and acknowledge a few events. If I just click on the thumbs up, it acknowledges that particular error, and you'll notice that it disappears from this view because it's no longer pending. And again, the idea is that it acknowledges that I've seen this event. If I click on the acknowledge filter, then I will show the messages that I just acknowledged, and it also shows the username that acknowledged it and the time and date of the acknowledgement. And again, this can be very useful to demonstrate to your customers that you're actually checking their backups and who is checking them and when. Now, it's also very common to have to notify clients that there are issues. So when there's an error and you need to notify the client of the problem or notify somebody else on your team, you want to send a notification. We built the notification function in to the product. So if I click on the ticket icon, then it automatically opens up this ticket email and pre-populates the email with the job name as well as the job status, and includes the error message that we're seeing. We can also modify this message to customize it if we wish. And if I click on create ticket, it sends out an email. In our case, we send the email to support@managecast.com, which will then trigger creating a ticket in our ticketing system. So we can have the email sent to any email address that you need, including the client address. Well, there's a ton more to show you, but don't want to make this video too long. I just want to point out we give the ability to ignore certain jobs. We provide filters on just seeing the Veeam backups, agent backups, Office 365 backups, local backups, cloud backups, as well as we have a whole section on tracking jobs that didn't run in a certain time frame. Would be happy to talk to you more about our tool and go into more detail on any of these items and to show you the full functionality. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I can be reached at ngolden@managecast.com, or feel free to call me at the number listed on the screen. I'd be happy to understand what you do on a daily basis to check backups and any improvements that we can make, and we'd be glad to talk to you about the tool that we've created here. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good day.